How's it going? I'm Jason Cirillo. Welcome to Bit Museum. I'm here in Japan. It's kind of weird that you followed me all the way here. To tell you the truth, it's a little creepy.
Bit Museum. Bit Museum. I like Bit Museum. Bit Museum. I love Bit Museum. We are learning so much about all this cool stuff. I cannot wait for the show.
And we're right here at Hard Off, which is one of my favorite places in Japan to buy old, weird, zany, retro game stuff. So, come on, let's go!
Check this out. So we're only here for only a couple minutes, and right here on the shelf, PlayStation 2 DVD recorder. Right here, check this out. Look at all the Super Famicoms here. Look at this. Look how much they are. $1. It's awesome. This is beautiful right here. Famicom system for $8. But right here, this is junk. What that means is it may not work. This is just a box of all kinds of stuff. Loads of Famicom games. Look at all these. Most of them are about 100 yen, which is about $1. It's like a rainbow of happiness. I wish I could just roll around in all this stuff. I'd be arrested for sure. Alright, so I know the edited video probably was like 10 seconds, but I was in there for like 8 days.
I cannot wait for the show.
We are now back from Japan, and we have some really awesome stuff that we brought back with us on a grueling 14-hour flight, and we are very excited to show it to you. And this is our first show since we joined forces with Gaijin Games back in February. So it's a very exciting new season for Bit Museum, and we are ready to bring you some incredible new findings. Another wonderful thing is that today's show is brought to you by Blocktonic for iPad. We made some really great trips to various hard-off stores. We angered a lot of the staff over there. We made a complete mess of the store, but it was all worth it because we have a couple of really great things to show you today on Bit Museum. During the Pong craze of the 1970s,
Super Pong. It's not just another video game. It's a real Atari.
just about every company on the face of the earth got into the video game business. It was a very strange time in video game history. Even Nintendo, one of their earliest game consoles was actually a Pong console, TV Game 15. I mean, if you saw the first episode of Bit Museum, you know what the old Nintendo consoles were like.
So this console right here is really significant in Nintendo history. This is the first console Nintendo ever released that has the word Nintendo right here on the front using their English logo. That's pretty cool.
But one of the more interesting consoles I want to talk to you about is a little console called the TV Jack 5000 by Bandai. And yes, folks, I did get a TV Jack at Hard Off boners. It's actually a really cool looking full color box. It's almost like they couldn't make up their mind for the name of this thing though, because it says Videomate, Telebi Jack, Add-on 5000. I don't even know what the add-on is all about, but that's what that says. I'm not really sure. I think it has to do with the fact that it uses cassettes, which was sort of a big deal back then, so they didn't even know what to call that. They just decided, I guess, on the name Add-on. So anyway, this is the box. It's a really neat-looking box with sort of illustrated screenshots of the various games. Sort of a diagram of the controls. Let's open it up. So here we are. Here is the TV Jack 5000. It handles 2 different games, and the cartridges come right with the machine. Right here we have Road Race, which is cartridge number 2, and it's really got some kick-ass artwork on there. And here we have Ball Game, which is cartridge number 1. It's some pretty neat 70s style Japanese anime style illustration there. We've got actually a couple of instruction manuals. Each cartridge came with its own instruction manual as well. There's the slot right here for the cartridges. We've also got this control panel here of various buttons and power switches and things like that. And what these do is these set up the different modes of play that are illustrated or outlined there on the front of the cartridge. Controllers pull right out, and they're on cords, and a big giant button on there that says boosh. And again, the joysticks sort of just stay where you leave them, which is kind of weird. They're very mushy and squishy joysticks. I can't really explain how these feel. I don't know, that's weird. Squishy and mushy is, I think, the best I can do. All right, so the first game that we're going to take a look at from the TV Jack 5000 is the cartridge called Ball Game. And there are about 10 different variants of sort of Pong-like games, but the games get a little bit deeper than your typical Pong console Pong games do. So let's have a look at this one. This is one-player squash. And as you can see, it's me here on the right side. Now, since this is a joystick and not a paddle, you'll notice that I can move forward, I can move in all directions, forward, backwards, up, down, all over the place. And there's just this one big wall here, so you can just sort of play a one-player game, which is kind of nice, actually, because most of the Pong consoles are strictly two-player. But if you're like me, and you don't really know anybody, or you've scared away all your friends with the fact that you stay in your creepy basement and play 35-year-old video games all the time, they have these great one-player games like this. And you can kind of see that it's sort of like Pong. And one thing I notice here is that the collision detection does seem a little bit wonky. I don't know if that's just because the machine is really old, or is it maybe that I kind of suck at playing this one-player squash game. I don't know. But nonetheless, it's a pretty interesting little diversion from the classic Pong formula. All right, here's another game on the Ball Game series, and this is called, I think, Target Practice, or Target. And as you can see, there's this box that moves across the screen, and you need to be right on it and hit the button. So it's sort of like skeet shooting, or I guess you could say it's a very ancient forefather to Duck Hunt. This game is super freaking hard, actually, and it's making me kind of mad, so let's try something else. Now here's a two-player. One of the paddles actually moves in all directions, and the one in the back is sort of like my goalkeeper. So Scotty, our engineer, is pink, and I'm the brown guy here on the right, and we are playing this two-player game of what seems like hockey. There you go. But you can see that I'm able to actually move my guy all the way into his zone, which seems crazy. And there's another score. So that is hockey on this crazy machine. That's insane. All right, so this is foosball, which is a really insane game. There's like 1,000 paddles on the screen, and you're basically just controlling the up-down motion of them. And you have to get it through the goal, which is like, this is a really, I've never seen anything like this in any other Pong consoles. This is pretty neat. We've got basketball here, which is super crazy. The ball is in the center, I think, as you can see there. Let's see if we can get this game started. I don't even know how to start it. There we go. And we see the ball here. I think what we need to do is deflect it so that it goes into the top of the basket, which just seems like completely insane. There we go. I just got one. And this is, I believe, a two-player squash game, or not. I don't even know what this is. When it's blue, the yellow paddle has to hit it, and when it's yellow, the blue paddle has to hit it. I'm guessing. I have no idea. But just another one of the strange variants on the TV Jack 5000 console. One of the things you'll notice, which is probably hard to tell from your angle there, is that the sound actually comes out of the console and not out of the television. A lot of early consoles before the Atari 2600 had built-in speakers. They were not sending audio out through the RF cable at this point, so the sound completely came out of the console itself. So all those beeps and bloops that you hear coming right out of a speaker built right into the TV Jack 5000. With cartridge number 2, some really, really nifty 1970s style Japanese anime sort of artwork there. This has 2 different modes of racing on it for 1 and 2 players. And they just go right into the socket right here. Ooh. I stumped the game. Look at this. I was wondering, I'm like, look how good I am. Now I think I maxed it out at 15 points, and I guess that just means I win. And my prize for winning is complete immortality and my pink car. So that about wraps it up for this episode of Bit Museum. We hope you enjoyed taking a look at the Bandai TV Jack 5000, which is a significant console because it's sort of the sparks of the beginning of creativity with the medium of video games, moving a little bit beyond the tried and true Pong formula and getting a little bit more creative with the medium of video games, as we saw in such games as Ball Game and Road Race. Next time, we're sure to have some more awesome treasures for you. Remember, anytime you have questions or comments, feedback, or even show ideas, remember, you can email me directly, jason@robotubegames.com. Follow us on Twitter @robotube, and check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/robotubegames. Get in touch with us. Join our fan club page. What kind of bullshit is that? Until next time, thanks for watching.
I cannot wait till the next episode because I really liked what I saw. Bit Museum. I love Bit Museum.
Actually pretty good at this game, I have to admit. I think it comes from my years of practice playing such games like Bit Trip Beat, now available on iOS, Mac App Store, and Steam, and WiiWare.